Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to our second event of this season's Racial Justice Concert Series. Today's concert is also offered as part of Johns Hopkins Hope Initiative. Hope, or Honoring Our Pandemic Experiences, is one of many institution-supported, arts-related programs for the Johns Hopkins medicine workforce designed to enable community cohesion, meaning-making, and healing from the extended pandemic experience. We are eager to bring to you another afternoon full of inspirational music, positive energy, and hope for racial justice. My name is Adobe Gachiku, and I'll be serving as your MC today. The goal of the Racial Justice Concert Series is to harness the power of music to bring attention to the important racial justice work being done here in Baltimore. The Racial Justice Concert Series brings together Baltimore musicians and provides a platform for social justice organizations to educate audiences about their efforts. We, the students, faculty, and staff of the RJCS, hope for this series to enable bidirectional communication and engagement between the Johns Hopkins community and the rest of Baltimore. The RJCS is cooperatively produced and funded by the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine Program in Arts, Humanities, and Health, the Johns Hopkins Center for Music and Medicine, and the Johns Hopkins International Arts and Mind Lab. We are also supported by the Johns Hopkins Medicine Office of Diversity and Inclusion and SOURCE. SOURCE is a community engagement and service learning center for the Johns Hopkins University Schools of Public Health, Nursing, and Medicine, whose mission is to engage the Johns Hopkins Health Professional Schools and Baltimore communities in mutually beneficial partnerships that promote health and social justice. Those of you who have been attending our events since the beginning will remember that our first RJCS event was held on March 11th of 2021. Tomorrow will be the first anniversary of our first performance. Thank you for the support, and we feel honored to have been able to join with those who use their ingenuity and talents to bring attention to the important cause of racial justice. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce this afternoon's performers, Grammy-winning guitarist and vocalist Dan Zanes, and Haitian-American music therapist and jazz vocalist Claudia Zanes. Dan and Claudia Zanes are a musical duo based in Baltimore that creates modern-day, all-ages, sensory-friendly music, blending folk, rock, and jazz. Dan Zanes was a founding member of the 1980s garage rock band, the Fuegos, and in 2007 won a Grammy Award for Best Musical Album for Children for Catch That Train. Claudia Zanes is a performer and music therapist who has performed across the US and also in England, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Israel, and Kenya. During the pandemic, Dan and Claudia Zanes performed a song a day for over 200 days as part of the Social Isolation Song Series. Please join me in a round of applause for today's performers, Dan and Claudia Zanes.
Thank you, Adobe.
Right, thank you, Adobe.
Thank you, everyone, for having us. We're grateful you're tuning in and joining us on your lunch break. We've got some songs for you. This first one we're going to do is a tune called Let Love Be Your Guide. We were inspired, of course, by the late John Lewis, and on the day of his funeral, he wrote an op-ed in the New York Times that came out that said, Together, you can redeem the soul of our nation. And he was really about nonviolence being love in action. That's what he called it. So this is Let Love Be Your Guide. And with all of these songs, we hope that you will, between bites, sing along and join us. So this is Let Love Be Your Guide. There's something I must tell you now. Let love be your guide. The longing of the human heart knows how to let love be your guide.
Well, I stood among you and
you can sing it with me. Let love be your guide.
It was clear what you were here to do. Let love be your guide.
Be your guide when you're weary. Be your guide when you're unsure. The winds of change are on your side. Let love be your guide. Well, history tells us this is not new. Let love be your guide. Yesterday's lessons still hold true. Let love be your guide.
The nightmare was deep and long.
Let love be your guide.
And now the air is troubled with the sweetest song.
Let love be your guide. Be your guide when you're weary. Let it be your guide when you're unsure.
winds of change are on your side. Let love be your guide.
Well, I may not be with you when the day is done. Let love be your guide. But I know you'll be marching till the peace is won.
Let love be your guide. Be your guide when you're weary. Let it be your guide when you're unsure. The winds of change are on your side. Let love be your guide. Be your guide when you're weary. Let it be your guide when you're unsure. The winds of change are on your side. Let love be your guide. All right. All right. We feel so blessed to be here. So we're singing some songs that came out on our Smithsonian Folkways record in September. The record's called Let Love Be Your Guide. It's all ages electric folk music. All right. And here's a song called Coming Down.
And we want to thank Yesenia Mejia. This is a song that we wrote, and Yesenia Mejia lent her voice to this song as well, and the Spanish lyrics you'll hear are from her.
All right. Yes.
Can you see it coming down? Can you see it coming down? Can you see it coming down? Someday we could all be free.
White supremacy coming down. Bars of oppression coming down. Oh, hierarchies coming down. Someday we could all be free.
Militarism
Coming down.
and capitalism, it's
Coming down.
Yes, and patriarchy, it's
Coming down.
Someday we could all be free.
Police departments coming down. Voter suppression coming down. Oh, incarceration coming down. Someday we could all be free.
The sun will shine and the rain will fall. The world will turn and bring the morning to us all.
One way or another, we will choose to love.
Muros y fronteras,
Basta ya,
las deportaciones,
basta ya.
familias separados,
Basta ya.
un día seremos libres. Las injusticias,
Basta ya.
el racismo,
Basta ya.
el odio,
Basta ya.
will shine and the rain will fall. The world will turn and bring the morning to us all.
One way or another, we will choose to love. Well, there's a dance tonight. Are you coming down?
There's a dance tonight. Are you coming down?
There's a dance tonight. Are you coming down? Someday we could all be free. Someday we could all be free.
Un día seremos libres. Again, thank you to Yesenia Mejia for those lyrics in Spanish. This next song is also on our new record. It's called Open Windows. Dan and I moved here to Charm City, to Baltimore, Maryland, back in 2019, so we're newbies. But this is a song, we live in a row house, and we were inspired by the beautiful sounds and smells and laughter and joy that comes from open windows. The idea of walking down the street and the beauty you can hear from these window spaces. So this song is called Open Windows. I'm gonna do my best to play the drum here. We want you to sing along. There's gonna be some parts for you in this tune.
I just want to say that the three of you here in the room with us are doing a great job filling the space up and creating an entire audience. A lot of pressure.
Open windows, the sun is shining on my face and hands. Open windows, here I am. Open windows, the sun is shining on my face and my hands. Open windows, here I am. Well, let me clear my throat and jump on the mic, 'cause I got something to say. Here's a little something I hope you like. I'm gonna sing it in my own way. I'm gonna sing like the rain, I'm gonna sing like the breeze, I'm gonna sing like a horse in the race. I'm gonna sing out loud and sing out proud. Can't you see the smile on my face? Open windows, the sun is shining on my face and hands. Open window, yeah, here I am. Ooh. Open windows, the sun is shining on my face and hands.
Open window.
Yeah, here I am. See, when I
Pastor Brown.
Yeah, Pastor Brown, we hear you. Oh, my. All right, so this next song is another tune on our new record. Thank you. This song is in Haitian Creole. My family comes from the island of Haiti, the first Black republic, and we're going to honor this country that has given so much to the rest of the world. This song we wrote during the pandemic. You know, here we were. It was a really depressing, hard, challenging time for so many of us. And I have a lot of family on the island, a lot of family on the other side of the country that we weren't able to see, we weren't able to visit with. So we were just thinking about life and the transitions of life, the ebbs, the flows, the ups, the downs, the unpredictable nature. So this song is called Kile Map Weu Anko, Haitian Creole, which means when will I see you again? So if you want to sing along, you can sing the Kile Map Weu Anko.
Seasons change, the world is turning. Kile map weu anko. Through every day, the heart is learning. Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko.
When autumn leaves are slowly falling,
Kile map weu anko.
the hunger of the earth is calling.
Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko. In winter when the snow is scheming, Kile map weu anko. Below the ground, the roots are dreaming. Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko.
In spring the trees will bloom and wonder,
Kile map weu anko.
and lift the spell that we were under.
Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko. Gold of summers for the spending. Kile map weu anko. Knowing that these days are ending. Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko, anko. Kile map weu anko. When the sun is asking, when the rain is asking, when the moon at night wonders, when will I see you again?
Seasons change, the world is turning.
Kile map weu anko.
With every day, the heart is yearning.
Kile map weu anko, anko.
Chérie, moi,
Kile map weu anko.
j'en vis well, j'en vis well.
Kile map weu anko.
Tout que m'a cassé.
Kile map weu anko.
Way I be well, encore.
Kile map weu anko.
Petite fille, moi, petit garçon, moi,
Kile map weu anko.
j'en vis well, j'en vis well.
Kile map weu anko.
Oye, qu'il est ma well, encore.
Kile map weu anko. Kile map weu anko, anko.
Pastor Brown. Those harmonies.
Well, now we're gonna introduce you, Pastor Brown. We've been building up to it in between the songs.
That's right.
And we're so grateful to be here. We want to thank Adobe. We want to thank the Racial Justice Concert Series for what you do. Congratulations on this year.
Yes, yes.
And honestly, we were looking it over, this week we were looking it over, putting out our posts on social media and just thinking, this is really such an idea for our times. It really is, because we need music, but we need the work. We need it all. We need it all going on at once. And thank you for bringing us together and giving us the opportunity to be here with the Black Church Food Security Network. So inspired by the work that they've been doing. And just to sort of, the backstory to that is, as Claudia said, we moved to Baltimore 2 years ago from Brooklyn, New York, and we came here for a number of reasons. And one was that we felt in our hearts that maybe this was a city where we could be more engaged on a community level, whatever that might mean, find our sense of purpose here. And we left our Lenox Road Baptist Church, beloved Lenox Road Baptist Church in Brooklyn, and came here thinking, man, the bar's set high, what are we going to do?
Where's our church home going to be? The bar was real high.
That's right. And we walked into Pleasant Hope Baptist Church and never left.
Right.
Day one, we walked up to the front.
To give you an idea, right, the first day we arrived, Pastor wasn't even preaching that week. The woman that was preaching, I can't remember her name, but it was so powerful. We joined, and then we said, how is the pastor going to measure up to?
Right.
But we are so grateful to be members. We're so grateful to have the Black Church Food Security Network here. And without further ado, we want to bring up Pastor Eber Brown III.
All right.
Wow. I hope that you all are enjoying this as much as I am. I feel like it's my birthday today because of the dynamic and beautiful music that we are hearing and just the wonderful event, Adobe, that you and your team have organized. Thankful as well for the Creative Alliance for opening this space for such an important event as well. Well, as has been said, my name is Heber Brown III. I'm blessed to be the pastor of the Pleasant Hope Baptist Church, but I'm also the founding executive director of the Black Church Food Security Network. In a nutshell, our organization is working to advance food justice in the country. How many of us have been thinking about food and watching the news, talk about supply chains and everything else over the past 2 years in particular? We were already having trouble in our food system before this pandemic. The underpinnings of the food system in the United States is one that is propped up by legacies of exploitation and gentrification, violence and enslavement. The food system that centers profits over people is literally making us sick. And not just making us sick, but also causing untold damage to the precious planet on which we live. The Black Church Food Security Network, then, is organizing congregations and farmers and food justice folks across the country, because we really have to roll up our sleeves and create the kind of local food systems that keep people and planet at the center. In our organization, we focus on the Black Church. The Black Church, in my biased opinion as a Black Baptist preacher, is the most sustainable and the strongest anchor institution that we have in Black America. And from the late 1700s until this very time, our churches have been places where organizing and advocacy and justice and music and art and love and safety have found center stage. Well, I'm trying to do my part now to write the next chapter with respect to the Black church and social justice. So many of us will turn the page and go back to the civil rights movement in terms of the last time Black churches were front and center in helping to push things forward for the good of all. But I want to do everything that we can, and we want to do everything we can in our organization to help it be so that you don't have to go so far back to see examples of African American Christian congregations engaged in the public square for the common good and to advance justice, self-reliance, self-determination for African American communities, and many others as well. And we want to invite you to join in on this. In fact, I'll just ask if you're watching, if anybody has any connection to food, you have a place in this movement. You have a place in the movement as a consumer by asking questions like, where is my food coming from? And asking questions like, how are the workers being treated that provided this food? How are the workers being treated in the kitchens that prepared this meal? Ask those kinds of questions from the consumer side, and if you feel so inclined, find an organization like the Black Church Food Security Network, but there are so many others, to really get involved and swim upstream to change this racist and sexist and violent food system. We can do something different. There is more. And our imaginations are primed right now to run wild, to think about a different kind of way we relate to one another, that we relate to the planet, and that we relate to food as well. I want to invite you to visit blackchurchfoodsecurity.net, www.blackchurchfoodsecurity.net, to learn more about our organization. And listen, it's a great time to get plugged in. I'm just getting back from Philadelphia. Next week I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm traveling. I'm like an evangelist for food justice right now. And
You wanna go? Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go? Everybody's talking about a new beginning.
All right, thank you. Our sing-along. It's a lunchtime sing-along song. And we'll send this one out to our friend Dr. K. Wise Whitehead over at WEAA, who graced us with the intro to the song on the record. The song's called Reparations Is a Must. See how the flags are flying. Reparations is a must, while the old ways are quickly dying. Reparations is a must, and the fireworks in the night sky. Tomorrow's poison dust parades across the nation. Ooh, reparations is a must.
The statues and the glory.
Reparations is a must.
The story behind the story.
Reparations is a must.
And the children in their classrooms and the teachers they're asked to trust can write it on their whiteboard.
Ooh, reparations is a must. about the halls of power. Reparations is a must. Oh, the song grows by the hour. Reparations is a must. But if they can't sing, then they won't dance. How can they earn the trust and be invited to the party? Oh, reparations is a must.
At the barbecues and clam bakes,
Reparations is a must.
through the laughter and the milkshakes,
Reparations is a must.
and the sunburns on the front porch. No time to fight or fuss. You all know what to do now.
Ooh, reparations is a must. We'll count our footsteps, we'll elevate our gaze, we'll clear our path and find another way.
Now who needs facts to ponder?
Reparations is a must.
Just grab a map and wander.
Reparations is a must.
If you listen, you'll hear clearly. It was never meant for us. But if you sing, this land is your land.
Ooh, reparations is a must.
It's a must, it's a must, it's a must, it's a must.
Ooh, reparations is a must. Ooh, reparations is a must.
All right. Thank you all so much. This next tune is called Sail Away Ladies. It's an old folk tune. Dan actually taught me this one. My background, I love jazz music. That's my upbringing. I came up in jazz, and so we're gonna do a mashup. We're gonna have some little jazz meets folk. All right, we're gonna do a little scat singing. Okay, those of you on your lunch break, you can scat sing with us. It's just making up nonsense syllables. Okay, I'm gonna sing something to you. You're gonna sing it back. We call that call and response. I'm gonna call it out and repeat it back as closely as you can. We'll start simple. All right.
We're counting on all three of you right here.
Yeah, that's
too.
right. Adobe's ready. I see it. Okay, here we go. Bop, 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 ba doo wop wop. Shooby dooby doo wop, ba doo wop wop. Bidit dit 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 dit. Shooby boo ba doo ba whoop 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 yo. Yeah! All right, let's get into it.
Whenever I get
That was
my new
good.
house done, sail away, ladies, sail away. I give the old one to my son. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Sail away, ladies, sail away.
Well, come along and go with me.
Sail away, ladies, sail away.
You'll go down to Tennessee.
Sail away, ladies,
Yeah.
sail away.
Oh,
Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Sail away, ladies, sail away. I'm gonna build a house down by the water. Sail away, ladies, sail away. I'm gonna give the whole thing to my daughter. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Don't you rock 'em, daddy-o. Sail away, ladies, sail away.
all right, let's get back to that scat singing. Ba-da-ba-ba, shoo-boom-dooba-doo-way. Yeah. y'all could hear that in the office or at home. That was great.
3 people, but sounded like 33. All right. Well, I know I'd be kicking myself later on today if I didn't take this opportunity to just invite any of you people out there that identify as white folks. I want to invite you to join a growing white anti-racist community known as Constructive White Conversations. You can go to constructivewhiteconversations.org. It's a very welcoming space. It's a place where white people go to talk things through amongst themselves, so when we go out into the world, we're much more equipped to handle the things that come around. So it's, like I said, regardless of your analysis, background, experience, whatever it is, if you identify as a white person, we welcome you in Constructive White Conversations. 8 online meetings a month. You can drop into any one you want. Pick one on the website and come and spend some time with us, taking a look at this white racial conditioning that can often block our ability to find purpose and usefulness out in the world. All right.
That's right.
What do you think? Did I miss anything?
No, that was great. That was on point.
I could go on for hours.
Yes, please tune in. You can be a part of this. And we also want to dedicate this song to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. There's so much happening in the world, and we're just putting love and light and positive energy as far as we can go. So this is for the long night. Sister, here's a song for the long night. Sister, here's a song for the longest night. Sister, here's a song for the long night, and I'll sing with you till the morning comes.
Brother, here's a prayer for the long night. Brother, here's a prayer for the longest night. Brother, here's a prayer for the long night, and I'll pray with you till the morning comes.
Mama, here's a dream for the long night. Mama, here's a dream for the longest night. Mama, here's a dream for the long night, and I'll dream with you till the morning comes.
Oh, Father, what's your wish
For the long night.
Father, what's your wish
For the longest night.
Father, what's your wish
For the long night.
And I'll
Wish with you till the morning comes.
Neighbor, here's a hand in the long night.
Neighbor, here's a hand in the longest night.
Neighbor, here's a hand in the long night, and I'll build with you till the morning comes, and I'll build with you till the morning All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Adobe, how's our time? One song or two?
Oh,
Can we?
can we do one
Yeah,
song
we
with
got-
our pastor?
Yeah. Yeah, we got some important business to attend to here. We're not gonna leave the stage till this happens.
Right. Okay. Yes, y'all. We want to invite our pastor, Pastor Brown, one more time up to the stage. You can grab your microphone there, Pastor. We're going to do this African American spiritual. This song is called "Glory, Glory, Hallelujah," or "Since I Laid My Burdens Down." We're going out on this note. We want to thank you again for tuning in and for being a part of this wonderful afternoon of music making. And we hope you'll join us on this one too.
Test, test. It's on.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I laid my burdens down, yes. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I laid my burdens down.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Since I laid my burden
My
down.
burdens down.
Glory, glory,
Glory, glory.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, since I laid my burden down, yeah.
Oh, friends don't treat
Friends
me
don't treat me
like they used to.
like they used to.
Since I laid
Since I laid
my burdens down.
my burdens down.
Oh, friends don't treat me
Friends don't treat me
like they used to. Since I laid
yeah, yeah.
my burdens down.
Oh, I feel better.
I feel better.
Oh, so much better.
So much better.
Oh, since I laid my burdens down. Yeah, yeah. I feel better.
Feel better.
So much better.
Much better.
Since I laid my burdens down.
Oh, I'm going home to
Going home.
live with Jesus.
Live with Jesus.
Oh, since I laid my burdens
My
down.
burdens down.
I'm going home to
Going home.
live with Jesus. Oh, since I laid my burdens down.
Oh, glory, glory. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Since I laid
Since I laid
my burdens down.
Burdens down.
Glory, glory.
Glory.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Since I laid my burdens down.
since I laid
My burdens down.
Since I laid my burdens down.
oh, since I laid my burdens down. Yes. Woo! You didn't know you were going to church today.
Pastor
I know that's right.
Brown. We've been waiting 2 years for this.
God has made my life.
Thank you. All of the songs were amazing, and then they led up to that. That was amazing. It felt like a Sunday morning. Oh my gosh. And I know I introduced you all as a duo, but Reverend Brown made it a wonderful trio. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Oh, that was amazing. Thank you all. Just round of applause again. That was just absolutely amazing. Yes. And so everyone who is watching, it is now time for our Q&A portion with Dan and Claudia, and also with Reverend Brown. So if you want to submit questions or comments to the YouTube chat, go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and begin.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shoot up here, right?
Yep. Got one already? Okay, just one more. Perfect. There you go. Man, that felt good.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Adobe, you want a chair?
Huh?
You're coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How would you?
Yeah, is there a particular way, Adobe, you want us
Yeah.
If I could actually have the chair closest to the table.
to the table?
Oh, yes. Here you go.
Okay, yep.
So I'll just move down.
I'm so pastor. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to watch that.
Yes, yes. So I think we'll all be watching it again. I speak for everyone when I say that. And so, yes, I am happy to be here. And now it is time for the audience participation in the Q&A session. And so we will start with you, Reverend Brown.
Okay.
And so what would you say is the inspiration for the Black Church Food Security Network?
A lot of it has to do with the beautiful people of Pleasant Hope Baptist Church, the church that I pastor, and a deep sense of wanting to support in every way possible. When I first started pastoring, I noticed that members of our church were being hospitalized over and over again for diet-related issues. And there's only so many prayers and scriptures that I'm going to give before I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. How do we get to the root of these issues? And so it was that sense of conviction, call, care, and love for the beautiful people of this congregation that really pushed me to swim upstream and to recognize that food charity by itself could not solve the hole in the bottom of this bucket with respect to our food environment. And so that was the source. And then I just have to speak the name of Sister Maxine Nicholas, who transitioned and became a cherished ancestor in our congregation in 2017. But it was watching how she took 1,500 square feet of land in the front yard of Pleasant Hope, turn that bad boy into a garden, and it starts turning out 1,200 pounds of produce every season. And what I recognized was that it was so good for Pleasant Hope, why not spread the love to other churches and get us to work together to create a system so that, just like Sister Maxine is not here anymore physically, but what she did continues, I want our churches to embrace that same posture. We're creating something knowing, at least believing and hoping, that it far outlives us, because with climate change, racism, violence, sexism, homophobia, go on down the line, continuing to dig its talons deep into society, we're going to need to build an ark like Noah to survive in the days ahead and to thrive as well. That was a long Baptist preacher answer, but that's how we got here.
Wow, so appreciated and just so moving, just the way that you all started. And something you said that echoes with me, like I'm in medical school, and we are so concerned about our patients and about diet and nutrition for them. And our compassion towards our patients is similar to your compassion towards your congregation, and even Sister Maxime as well. And so it's just so amazing how similar it is. Physicians and then pastors, all of us working together to help people eat better, promote food security, and just food sovereignty is just so important. It's just so thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yes. And so, yes, Dan and Claudia, I have a question for you all too. And so we've been through a lot, just as a society, just everyone, these past 2 years. We've had wars, we've had pandemics, we have had so many things going on. And so what role do you think music plays in just healing? Even just, Hopkins is promoting this Hope Initiative, honoring our pandemic experiences. What role do you feel music plays in just allowing us to heal, allowing us to regain a sense of ourselves?
Wow. Whew, that is a heavy question, but we know based on history how music serves, how music uplifts, how music heals, how music galvanizes. when you think, I mean, thinking protest, thinking people coming together, it's the music that really was the heartbeat, you know. And so during this pandemic, we've seen ups, we've seen downs, we've seen things we've never seen before. And I truly believe that there is a deep, deep, deep need for healing, especially in our young people too. So I think music plays a very pivotal role. Just like we were talking about the food and the nourishing of the body, I believe that the music is also nourishing of our spirits as well. And it does connect us. And so we as a society, we've kind of moved away from music making together in community senses. We left it to the professionals to sing. So we become music consumers, but not music makers. So really believing that our healing relies on this as well. That music, there's medicine and healing in the music making. Yeah.
That is so amazing because with Hopkins, we have the Music and Medicine initiative. And just as you said, music is healing, music is nourishment. And we should not think that we need to delegate it to just one group in our society, but everyone can participate. Because if you think back to past eras, what has survived? The art and the music. That is what will live on past us. And so that is really just amazing. Thank you, thank you. Yes. And so I have another question for Reverend Brown. And so what do you believe is the significance of the racial justice movement to you and your organization? So where do you all kind of place yourselves in that? So you've talked about it a lot. And it's always just helpful to just hear more because I think food security, we know that it's important, but sometimes people don't really see it as a racial justice issue when it really is. So
That's such a great point. And I didn't see it as a racial justice issue for a very long time. And this is coming from somebody who studies the civil rights movement and has always been enamored by these powerful movements and stories and people. But I didn't make a food connection until much later. It was the people, again, the congregation at the church that really helped me to see, wait a minute, there's something deeper going on here. And then that made me go back and revisit the cherished stories from the civil rights movement and before and the other movements around the world. And it made me go looking for where food was present in the movement. And what I realized, for example, is that during the civil rights struggle, food was a part of the movement. Farmers, for instance, were pivotal in the South because this is just a very quick, I'm a nerd out just for a second, but it'll be a short trip. But when activists would go down south and protest and organize, they get locked up, right? Well, down in many parts of the South, they had a land bail option to get these young activists out of jail. So for black folk down south who didn't have cash, they had land. And they could go down and get these young activists out. These farmers went and got these young activists out of jail for protesting for voters' rights, et cetera, and they put their land up as collateral to get them out of jail. And so as much as as a preacher, as much as I love celebrating the preachers and the people who are at the microphones of the movements of days gone by, I think about the farmers. I think about people like Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, who's a sharecropper in Sunflower County, Mississippi, and how her experience as a farmer helped to shape how she showed up as an activist. And so that's the tradition that I'm really working hard, and we're working hard to locate ourselves in. So we're very clear to say we are not a food charity organization, because you can be a food charity organization and be apolitical, meaning you could be blind or you cannot speak to the social, racial, class, all the types of issues. That's not us. And so that's why I chuckle when you ask me that question, because when it comes to racial justice, it is one of the main arteries of why we are doing what we are doing. And we are very consistent in speaking that language, because it's almost like working out a muscle, that we got to keep working that muscle so it gets stronger and stronger. And if we abandon that use of that muscle, it can atrophy and get weaker and weaker. And so thank you for even asking. And I hope that whatever movements or any part of the world that you might be familiar with, that people watching might be familiar with, I want to invite you to go back and be like a detective and search out where food is in that story, or agriculture. Where is it in the story?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's because And just so interesting how you're bringing in some component of the history of the civil rights movement, highlighting the role of farmers, highlighting the role of Black farmers, of food security, food sovereignty in the empowerment of Black communities, not just now, but even in the past, and hopefully also in the future. And so thank you for sharing that, Reverend Brown. Yes. And so I have another question for Dan and Claudia. And so, yes. How would you all kind of describe your kind of careers in music as far as what has motivated you and inspired you to keep creating music?
Well, so as I mentioned earlier, my family comes from the island of Haiti, and music is such a huge part of the existence. It is the oxygen of the island, arts, food. Haiti has dealt with so much, and so music has always been a part of our vocabulary. And so I think from a very early age, my grandfather was an accordion player. We would sit around, we would make music, we would sing, and the beauty of that, what I learned from a very early age, was that it wasn't about the beautiful sound of the voice. If you could make a sound, you could, like the Bible says, make a joyful noise. It was really just about how do we express ourselves through sound. And so music was from the beginning, a part of who I was. I went on to join bands and choirs, and I started working, traveling with this nonprofit organization that was really focused on keeping music in the schools, because we were seeing that when there's budget cuts and things are happening, the arts was one of the first things to go. So what I learned in that moment was the power of music. As I traveled, it was a unifier, that even when I was in countries where we didn't speak the same language, music really unified us. And so that led me to want to study more about music therapy, evidence-based. How is music supporting us? How is music connecting us? How is music helping us heal? And then fast forward to working with my husband, the importance of representation on the stage as well, and just children. As a kid, I didn't see a lot of me on stages when I would go to class field trips and stuff. So the beauty of young folks looking and seeing what interracial love looks like, and making music on this level, it leads me and inspires me to do what I do.
Oh, no pressure,
There's so
Dan,
little
no
for
pressure.
me to add. There's so much good stuff. What
no
could
pressure.
I possibly say? I could say that I think what I'm really thinking about right now is that we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. We all have a piece to add to the puzzle. And so for me it was music, and it was. And the experience that made me realize that was listening to recorded music, which was Leadbelly, the greatest of the 20th century folk singers, the king of the 12-string guitar. But as a kid, isolated, living a very provincial existence in Concord, New Hampshire, those records gave me a window into the world outside, not just the world, but the issues in the world outside through his music and through his stories. And he was interested in young audiences, but not singing about their experiences. He wanted to offer experiences that would lead them forward in life, and so I saw that, and I said, that's what I want to do. And that was, that's what I've been doing ever since. But he was the example. There's so many others, but Leadbelly was the shining example of that for me.
Wow, I just love to hear people's stories of how they found their calling, and that's just amazing. Thank you. And we have an audience question here asking about where we can find your music.
Oh, great questions. So if you go to danandclaudia.com, we've got our merch up there. But we also want to say, please follow us on social media, Dan and Claudia Zanes. We're always putting up songs, just uplifting the spirit, and we want to stay in connection with you as well. So you can find us there on Instagram and Facebook.
And all streaming, anywhere music is, our music is there.
Yeah, you can stream as well.
Okay, perfect. So audience, now you know. Mm-hmm. And I have another audience question asking about how long you've been singing for.
Why don't you take it?
I've been singing my whole life, and eventually I'm gonna become a singer. I'm not gonna give up until I get there. But
I would answer the same way. Yeah, my whole life.
Thank you. Yes. And so we have another question for Reverend Brown, and they want to know about what are the kind of projects that you all have kind of planned for this year, for the future. What's kind of coming up for you all?
Well, today a lot is coming up. I'm so inspired, but we're excited about Earth Day weekend, April 22nd, 23rd, 24th. It's almost like our first day of school when it comes to our church gardens. We like to help people to look at that weekend somewhere, to invite people to their garden spaces. And so look out for April. Look out for last year. Well, we have a lot of food coming back and forth up and down I-95, and we'll be hosting markets in multiple churches this year. This is the first time we're really moving out to have markets at multiple places. And so you'll find information on our social media pages, Black Church FSN. We'll be promoting where we're going to be. And I want to invite you to come out, not just for the good food, but also to meet Black farmers and to hear their stories and to connect and know where your food is coming from. I get so excited about helping people to make those kind of connections. And then at the end of this year, we have a harvest party coming. And we are so thankful. We're going to have some more music, and I'm going to try to get with Dan and Claudia so this trio can go on the road. But yeah, I really do love this. And if I could deviate a little bit, just the connection of the music. I mean, you were speaking to it. It's just so powerful. And all of our movements need music, joy, laughter, love. And sometimes, particularly in my journey, you know, when I first started reading and studying these things about social justice and movements and Black power going down the line, there was a certain kind of an energy like, yes, I'm a militant for power and I'm a social justice. And it gets tiring trying to keep that up all the time. And so when will you laugh? When will you make music? When will you find some joy? And a good sister of mine, Sister Imelda, gave me a mug some time ago that says, the revolution needs your joy too. Yes. And so I'm really grateful for the both of you. You are making space for that joy and love as you further social justice in so many different ways. And it's just, y'all don't miss the beautiful example of them using what God has given them to help make this world a better place. And I think for medical students, for those in the medical field, it's the same way. Yes, you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be in the health profession, but what kind of doctor? What kind of health professional? What kind of nurse? And I think as you make those connections to your own purpose, you're going to find you shining bright in your own unique way as well in that lane where you are.
Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Brown. That was amazing. Yes, purpose and joy, just amazing reasons to live. And thank you all so much for this Q&A. Thank you so much for this performance. I cannot wait for the party later this year to see you all unite as a trio again. Thank you, thank you. That was such an amazing surprise song. I am just so happy. I think I've just said the word amazing like 10 times in a row. So I hope everyone, I know, right, can tell how I feel right now. So yes, and I'm going to double check and see if we have any other questions from the audience. Okay, no, it doesn't seem like we do. So, well, I will say a final thank you to everyone who's here on stage with me. Thank you, Dan and Claudia Zanes. Thank you, Reverend Brown of the Black Church Food Security Network. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful March Day and being part of our event. And also, thank you to the audience. Thank you all who've attended this Racial Justice Concert Series event. Thank you for all the support you all have given us during this past year. Thank you for helping us make all of these connections and meaningful music and just so much wonderfulness this past year. And also, thank you to the staff here at the Creative Alliance. Thank you for giving us a space. Yes, a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much to the Creative Alliance tech team. Thank you for making this all possible. Thank you all to the other members of the Racial Justice Concert Series Planning Committee. So everyone who is kind of helping make me look good on days such as this. Thank you all so much. And also thank you to the Hope Initiative and for helping to honor our pandemic experiences. Thank you to Johns Hopkins Medicine. And you all, Hope is going on for so long. There's so many more things planned for this initiative. So this is the inaugural week. There's so much more programming going on. So look out for all these announcements about upcoming events. And then also the Racial Justice Concert Series, we also have upcoming events. So please visit our website. And so there's a link in the YouTube description area that you can use to head over to our website. And please join our mailing list so you can be notified about future events. And so have a good afternoon, everyone, and let's keep this wonderful momentum going. This is Adobe Gachiku signing off. Goodbye.
Thank you, Adobe. Thanks, everybody.